Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings and Yahoo for Wednesday, May the 15th. I'm just going to be covering the night slate in this video, the 8-game main slate. There is some early games today. I think there's like a 3-game early, but I'm not going to be covering that. I don't think I'm even going to be playing that slate, so we're just going to be looking at the 8 games at night. I'm going to go through the pitcher-player pool, talk about some of the pitchers I like on tonight's slate. We'll work our way through all the options that I'm going to be considering. Then we'll look at some hitters I like, 3 hitters for DraftKings and Yahoo. We'll go over stacks, and then towards the end of the video, we'll look at some BVP plays. Just before we do get started, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video, and if you are new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button down below, so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. But let's go ahead and start off at the top of the pitcher-player pool. So Justin Verlander is our most expensive option. He's $11K and gets a matchup with the Tigers. Verlander is very expensive today, but I think he's worth the price tag in this matchup with the Tigers. This is a Tigers team that just strikes out so much versus right-handed pitching. Verlander, obviously a dominant pitcher, can go out there and get 10-plus strikeouts in this matchup, can go out there and throw 100-plus pitches pretty much every start. We can expect him to pitch deep into the game, and in this matchup with the Tigers, we can expect the strikeouts to be there as well. Verlander is very expensive on Yahoo at $60, but I still think he's a very good play over there as well. I'm going to have a ton of Justin Verlander today. It's just such a good matchup. The upside's there in this matchup. There's some cheap pitching I like that you can pair with Verlander, so that makes me really want to pay for him on today's slate. Now you do have Patrick Corbin for $1,000 less, who gets a matchup at home against the Mets. I do like Corbin quite a bit. I would rather play Verlander, and if I'm making one lineup today, I'm definitely putting Verlander in there, but I do play about 20 lineups a night, so I'm going to have a little bit of Patrick Corbin. But again, I expect to be playing more Verlander over Corbin. Guys like Mike Minor, Kenta Maeda, Herman Marquez are kind of in like no man's land for me. They're just too expensive for me to want to pay for them over a guy like Verlander. Like if I'm going to pay that much for a pitcher, I'm just going to try and get all the way up to him. Now, if we go over to Yahoo and look at their pricing, when it comes to a guy like Kenta Maeda, who's $37, he looks very good on Yahoo as a pairing with Verlander. You can definitely play Verlander and Maeda together on Yahoo and still fit in some relatively decent bats. So that's what I'm going to be looking to do over there. Now on DraftKings, it's very hard to play those two guys together because if we were to put those two in there, that only leaves you like $3,700 remaining per player. So you can't really do that. Going to have to look for a cheaper option at pitcher. But I do really like Maeda here at home against the Padres. This is a Padres team that's going to roll out probably 7 righties in the lineup. They only have 2 lefties in the projected lineup. Maeda is very good versus righties, gets a ton of strikeouts versus righties. A lot of the right-handed hitters in this lineup will strike out versus right-handed pitching. So I like Maeda quite a bit on Yahoo, where you can easily pair him with Verlander and still fit in some decent bats. But now looking for an SP2 that we can pair with Verlander, I think there's a couple guys that I'm going to be considering. Jalen Beeks, if he's going to be the long man here, I really like him against the Marlins. Great matchup for Beeks. 7,600's a price tag that does seem a little bit high, especially because Beeks isn't a guy that's going to go out there and throw 100 pitches. He usually only goes about 70 to 80 pitches in long relief, but he'll probably get 5 to 6 innings. He has a chance at a win. So at 7,600, if you want to pair him with Verlander, you can definitely do that. But I'm actually going to be going all the way down to a guy like Jose Urena at home against Tampa Bay for 5,300. Now, Jose Urena is probably not a guy that many people are going to be rostering today because he's just not that good of a pitcher. But he is pitching at home in a great pitcher's park in Marlins Park. It's a Rays lineup that does have some strikeouts in it. I do prefer to roster lefties versus the Rays rather than righties because the Rays are much better versus right-handed pitching. But like I said, it's still a great pitcher's park. It's a good matchup for Urena. He can get some Ks here. He's got the pitcher in the opposing lineup as well. Urena just at 5,300 makes some sense to me as a guy to pair with Verlander. If Urena goes out there and gets you 15 DraftKings points, you're thrilled. If he goes out there and actually gets like 20, 25, which he has done at times this year, then you're obviously very, very happy at 5,300. So Jose Urena, looking for a cheap DraftKings pitcher to pair with Verlander. He's a guy that I do like quite a bit here. It's kind of like so far this year when we've had like cheap guys in playing in San Francisco in that ballpark. I'll just roster them because they're in a great pitcher's park and just hope they get a bunch of ground balls and maybe get a couple strikeouts. That's kind of what I'm hoping with Urena here. I'm hoping he can go like 5 to 6 innings Even if he gives up like 3 runs, maybe he'll just get like 5 or 6 strikeouts and kind of get there just 14, 15 DraftKings points. That's kind of what I'm hoping for Urena. And I think he can get there at home against the Rays. So I like him quite a bit today as a cheap SP2 on DK. You go Verlander or Urena, that leaves you over 4,200 remaining per player. So you should definitely have room for some bats. And there are expensive bats that I like today. Love the Astros yesterday, and I'm going to be going right back to them against Gregory Soto, a lefty who's just not good at all. This is a great spot again for the Astros. Springer, Bregman, Correa, these guys are great plays. Gurriel, White are really good value plays. Aledmys Diaz, been hot lately, and he's a really good value play at 4,100. We'll start off with him. I really like Aledmys Diaz today. He's first base and second base eligible on DraftKings, and there is a guy that I like at first base, so I'm going to be putting Diaz in at second base over there. On Yahoo, Diaz is at first base, and he's very cheap, just $14. I think he's a great play on Yahoo as well. So like I said, Aledmys Diaz been hot lately. You look at the DraftKings game log, last 3 games, 20, 14, and 17 DraftKings points. And I believe Tuesday night, he did hit another home run. So just continues to add to the total. Now he gets another great matchup against Gregory Soto, who just got absolutely blasted in his last start, and I would expect the same here. Diaz going to see the playing time now that Altuve is on the DL or the IL, whatever. Should be in the lineup. Hopefully he's batting like 5th or 6th. I think he batted 6th on Tuesday. If he's batting 6th again, then he looks like a really good play at 4,100 on DK. The reason I didn't put him at first base because I really like Freddie Freeman at first base. 4,800 on DraftKings. I think the Braves are another team that I'm going to be stacking up quite a bit here. They get a matchup at home with Michael Wacha, 5.2 implied run total for the Braves. I really like these Braves bats. They're all under 5K. They're very affordable. Acuna is only 4,600. Dansby Swanson is only 4,200. Obviously, Freeman's 48. Josh Donaldson's only 4,200. Ozzie Albies only 4,400. You can definitely fit in Verlander and still fit in a Brave stack with how cheap they are. Michael Wacha is a pitcher that I do want to pick on here. He's going to throw the ball in the zone. He doesn't really get strikeouts. He's going to let these hitters hit the ball. And guys like Freeman, Acuna, Albies, these guys, if they can get a hold to one, they can obviously hit it out of the park. So really like a Brave stack today. Really like Freddie Freeman on DraftKings at 4,800 first base. If we go over to Yahoo, I do like Freddie Freeman over there as well at $18, but I think I would probably save the $4 and go down to a guy like Aledmys Diaz. Finding a value play on Yahoo is second base. Kike Hernandez, $9 on Yahoo, close to minimum salary. I think is a really good value play. If we want to look for a cheap option there, he gets to face Matthew Strahm. The Dodgers will be facing Strahm here, a lefty. There's some very cheap bats in this Dodgers lineup. I think this is a stack that you can definitely look to. Guys like Kike, David Freese, Corey Seager, even though it's lefty on lefty, these guys are so cheap, under 4K. Chris Taylor, 3,500. Bellinger and Turner are somewhat expensive. Max Muncy at 4,500 isn't the greatest price facing a lefty, but really Kike and guys like Kike Freese, Chris Taylor, I really like these cheap guys from the Dodgers. 4.5 implied run total versus Strahm. I wouldn't say the Dodgers are my favorite stack today, but they are definitely a team that I'm going to be throwing in there with how cheap they are. If I want to pay up for pitching, I'm going to probably need a cheap stack, and I think that's a team that I'm going to look to. On Yahoo, I really like Kike Hernandez. Should be leading off. Very cheap, $9. Makes a lot of sense over there, in my opinion. To fill out my Yahoo Core 5, since we're already over here, Josh Reddick's a guy that I like for cheap. He's only $11 on Yahoo. No, it's lefty on lefty, but this is still a spot where Josh Reddick could be facing a right-handed pitcher at some point in this game because Gregory Soto is most likely going to get blown up here. He's not going to last very long. There's probably plenty of right-handed relievers that could come in for the Tigers. So even though it's lefty on lefty for Reddick, I still think he's a great part of the stack, and he probably goes overlooked because it is lefty on lefty. People are not going to roster Reddick, but I still think he's a great play here. He's very cheap on both sides. He gives you exposure to this Astros lineup. It's probably going to score a ton of runs again today. So I really like him as a value on Yahoo, and if you want to play him on DK at 3,700, he makes sense as well. But he's not as necessary since we went all the way down at pitcher to a guy like Urena. We don't really need to save that much. So I think going to a guy like Carlos Correa from the Astros makes a lot of sense. I love Correa today. He's another guy that's been heating up lately. He did homer on Tuesday. He did homer, I believe. Or no, he hasn't homered recently. But on Tuesday, he hit a home run, a 3-run homer. he's been heating up lately, and his price compared to some of these other guys for the Astros definitely stands out. Like Springer and Bregman are 53 and 5,800, but Correa is all the way down there at 4,800. So he still remains a bit underpriced. Really like him here versus Soto, facing a lefty, a very bad lefty. So that's going to fill out my 5 plays for DraftKings. Carlos Correa going to be the 5th guy. Really like him today if you're getting exposure to the Astros. These are my 5 plays for DK and 5 plays for Yahoo. Now let's talk about some stacks that I'll be going to today. Then we'll look at some BVP before we end the video. So obviously my favorite stack, I've talked about them a ton during this video, is the Astros versus Gregory Soto. Love the Astros today. I'm going to be trying to find a way to fit these guys in if I can. Love the Braves as well. 5.2 implied run total versus Michael Wacha. I think the Braves are in a very good spot today. If you need a cheap stack, I really like the Dodgers versus Matt Strom. I think they are going to go overlooked today, and they definitely make sense. I think some Rangers bats versus Jorge Lopez make a lot of sense as well. They're relatively cheap. You can find some value in that Rangers lineup. And I guess my last team that I'll be looking to stack would probably be the Phillies versus Gio Gonzalez. These Phillies bats are also pretty cheap. Like besides Rhys Hoskins, they're all under 5K, pretty affordable. But the Astros, the Braves, Dodgers, those are my kind of like my 3 core stacks, I guess, for today. But now let's go ahead and talk about some BVP before we end the video. So Keon Broxton, 6 for 10 off Patrick Corbin. Todd Frazier, 4 for 15 with a home run off of Patrick Corbin. And Michael Conforto, really good BVP versus Corbin. Kind of surprising, 6 for 14 with 4 home runs. He's really hit him well. Andrew McCutchen, 8 for 25 off Gio. Gene Segura, 8 for 15 off of Gio Gonzalez. And then the last 2 BVP plays, Manuel Margot, 4 for 11 with the home run off Kenta Maeda. And Hunter Renfroe, 4 for 12 with the home run off of Kenta Maeda. So those are all the BVP plays for today, guys. I think that is it for the video. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. Hopefully it did help you. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you click that like button down below before you get out of here. I would really appreciate it. And make sure you subscribe if you have not already. And if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Or like always, you can hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT if you do have any questions. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. We'll see you in the next one. Good luck tonight, guys. Peace.